I
This
don't,
is so good.
So then I don't approach you as
So
you
good.
owe me perfection. You owe God your best. And when you
Yes.
don't give it to him, it hurts people.
Yes.
But we are not the primary offended one. There is a holy God that was offended before you were. And that changes
that's
the way
really
you
good.
feel like you need to give forgiveness, I think.
A few years ago, I made a decision, and it was kind of in a moment of spending a lot of just quiet quality time with the Lord, where I thought, you know what? I want to become the kind of person that's unoffendable. And I think, well, what does that even mean? But it means that, if I'm daily receiving grace and mercy and kindness from God, and then I bump into a person who's not that, I don't have to be offended, because I want a clearer vision than that. I don't want to always just see what's on the surface. So one of my daily prayers every single day is, Lord, today, would you give me the eyes to see what I would miss without you? Would you give me the ears to hear behind what somebody is saying, to what's really going on in their heart? And honestly, the more you let God love you, the easier it is to love other people and to live unoffendable.
I want to tie both of these, because you gave the 70 times 7, you're talking about forgiveness. I think we don't understand just how much forgiveness we need. So Jesus says 70 times 7, that's 490 times, right? I need y'all to understand that every day we have around 60,000 thoughts every day. Imagine how many of those thoughts are sinful. Out of 60,000.
59,000.
Let's just say 1%. 1% of 60,000 is 600. 600 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
That fall below the holiness of God.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me he only said 70
Somebody
times
stepped
7?
on your white shoes and you can't.
They park too close to your car. You can't get in.
And it was John Bevere who said it, that he said it so beautifully. He said, when we have a hard time forgiving, it's because we have forgotten what we've been forgiven of. And when you remember, like you said, offended God, listen, at least 600 times a day, I'm thinking something that is off. At least 600
low for
times
me,
a day.
but that's good for you.
But that's what I'm saying. No. That's what I'm saying. That's at least.
As we were sitting here.
At least. So when you ask, how do you forgive an unkind neighbor? It's because I remember how much I am forgiven every day. Imagine if God was like, all right, my capacity, my limit, you got 50 times to offend me. That was before I even opened my eyes this morning.
Just a thought.
It's done.
Let me tell you something. If we're honest, forgiveness is not one and done, all right? Because when someone hurts us, when someone injures us, whether it's physically, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, whatever domain the injury is in, yes, it was a one-time event, maybe, but the pain of it actually gets absorbed into our bodies. And this is why we have things called triggers. You can smell something and it can remind you of a painful situation. You can hear a song that reminds you of a painful situation. Maybe that situation was long dealt with, but it has been absorbed into your body. And so when it is re-triggered, when that memory resurfaces, now we have to go through the process of forgiveness all over again, even if we released our offender from the debt of what they created. Forgiveness is a perpetual process. Until we're in our glorified bodies, we will always have the pain of offense in this body. So don't feel like you're wrong because you're not over it. Just recognize that God is with you in it.
I have 2 things that we use in our household to help forgive people. Number 1, we have tried our best to stop labeling people as wicked and labeling them as weak. Because wickedness, and I feel like honestly, we've done a bad job generationally of like really labeling people, because once we label someone toxic and wicked and an evil person, our perception of them changes from child of God, made in his image, and it just brings up all kinds of things. And so I try my best to say...
As opposed to they acted this way.
They acted
versus
even with our children, like even saying, you're not bad, you've made bad choices is way healthier.
Who you are.
And I think we have to do the same thing for God's people. Like, we really have to stop, I think, calling people, oh, you're toxic, you're evil, you're wicked. Like, people are just weak.
Yeah.
And when I view it from the lens of weakness versus wickedness, there's a different strategy there. Because weakness needs to be tended to. There's wounds there that are from weakness. Wickedness, we got to get you to the Lord.
Yeah, you just
know what I'm
reprobate.
saying? Something is wrong a little bit. We talking about spirits and such, you know? The second thing is the expectation conversation. Sometimes what happens, I think, is we get deeply offended because we expect more from people.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have expectations in close relationships because you actually do need to define, like, what are we doing and how are we supposed to treat each other? And we are supposed to have those conversations. But there's sometimes when I take a moment and I think about, okay, someone that has offended me, and I say, are they a 3-year-old in this or a 30-year-old? See, because if a 3-year-old comes and kicks you in the shin, the first question you probably ask is, where's your mama at? Okay.
Right.
Where are your parents?
Yeah.
What is happening right now? You probably even maybe laugh. What are you doing? But if a 30-year-old mess around and kick you in the shin, they gonna get a kick right back. It almost comes out as a reflex. You're like, I'm gonna hit you back, you know? Because the expectation is you're 30.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be
You
doing that.
should know better.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't be doing that. But what if we actually just valued people and upheld them with a different expectation that maybe in this area, you're not 30-year-old minded.
You're not fully developed.
You're not fully developed in
And
that
some
area.
of that too, if you think about, like, if somebody were to call you a purple dinosaur,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, well, I'm not a purple dinosaur.
Yeah.
And so your words don't mean anything to me. I'm not I don't know
Because you're
why.
so certain.
You're so
not a person
certain.
that- Yes.
You're so
No, for
certain.
real.
you're
I
not.
know where you're going.
So
That's
there
right.
is a thought too that as believers, we have to be really rooted in who we are, our identity in Christ.
That's so
So
good.
that when we're called the purple dinosaur, it doesn't penetrate into who we are.
That's
We
good.
know who we are. We know whose we are. And so the words don't have to have the weight. Why are we giving so much weight to people's words and actions
Yeah.
if we truly understand who we are in Christ and the purpose that we're here on earth is to be a representative of Him, and it's to love the very people who are trying to put weight and action to things that don't matter. So I think some of it is if we could approach it, like you said, okay, yeah, this is a 30-year-old who should know better, you know, but they